Now, I don't know if they wanted the match win or they wanted something a little more. Wow. But it's a lucky thing I had my pieces. Your pieces? My calibrated blasts. Oh. So anyway, I started blasting, but I don't luck so good, so I missed. All right, what is up, my friends? Welcome to the Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. This one's going to be a blast. This is a crazy modern deck. We have kind of a dead week here. We're returning to the schedule where the full set card list is out, and a bit of a lull between the pre-release and the actual release of New Capenna, which means that we have a little bit of a week here where it's kind of just like we're in null, lame duck territory. So what are we going to do? We're going to bust out the weirdest modern deck I've seen in a really long time. Calibrated Blast. It's a Modern Horizons card. 3-mana instant. Very similar to the card Erratic Explosion, which used to be a tournament playable card a million years ago. 3-mana for an instant. Flip cards on top of your deck until you reveal a non-land card. Put the reveal cards on the bottom library in a random order. Whenever you reveal a non-land card this way, it deals damage equal to that card's mana value to any target. So flip cards to get a non-land, and then mana cost that much damage. So now to any target. It's actually, you don't target until you reveal, I believe, which is actually pretty cool. And this, of course, the old deck back in the day in Extended used to play Draco Explosion. It was Draco and Erratic Explosion. No 16 mana spells in the deck, just 15. So you got 15 mana for Emrakul, the Aeons Torn. We have 15 mana for the big wormy worm. And we have 14 mana for Blinkmoth Infusion. It's funny, there is actually a 15 drop in the new set. It's the weird Death Shadow card, which will obviously go into his deck for sure, but for now it's Infusion for 14. And then another cool one here is Scion of Draco. So Scion of Draco, kind of a little bit back to the old Draco Explosion, costs 12, but is very castable for us. So this is a castable card in our deck. We can cast this card on turn 2 in theory with a good fetch land draw. So Scion of Draco, a little bit for Explosion, a little bit for just casting as well. Now, we also have 2 copies of Throes of Chaos, one of the coolest cards in the deck. 4 mana for a sorcery. All it does is Cascade. This is a Bloodbraid Elf without the elf, but it also has Retrace. So you can cast the card from your graveyard by discarding a land. You can play it over and over again, and of course, the only card you can Cascade into is Calibrated Blast. So you can play a Blast every turn in theory. Also, Blast has Flashback too. So we can get for multiple big shots here. However, we also have a lot of really cool lands in this deck. Now, one of the downsides, of course, is you can only play so many spells because you need to have your blasts, you need to have your 15 drops, and you can't really play much else because there only are so many 15 drops, and you need to be able to actually do stuff as well. So we see this is our actual mana base here of 17 lands, 10 fetches. We see 2 Triomes and a bunch of duels, and of course the goal here is we can fetch up our Triome and a dual land and cast Scion of Draco on turn 3 perhaps if we draw it. Also just cast our spells. The only spell we're actually casting is red so far for the most part. So that's that. And then we get to play a bunch of awesome value lands. All right. So we've got Boseiju who endures, who can kill artifacts, enchantments, and lands. Otawara can bounce, lay one of the void or lay one of sanctity, whatever it might be. We get Crucible of Defiance here for a couple blockers or attackers. And then we have our colorless lands here. We've got Mishra's Factory playing offense and defense. Desert ready to eat some Ragavans. And then Sunscorched Desert and Ramunap Ruins here to try and deal those last few points. Of course, if we blast them for 15, they're still at 5. They might fetch shock at some point. So 15 is usually enough. But I want to make sure we have a little extra damage here and there too. So 4 deserts and 2 Ramunap Ruins. Gemstone Caverns, obviously from the draw, can be a big boon. The 4th copy's in the board. And now in the board, we can't really afford to play many spells because any spell that costs less than 14 is going to be a problem. But do have 3 copies of Crime Punishment, which is pretty awesome. Crime is not too important, but Punishment, green, black, X, destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value X or less. With mana value X. So it can kill, for 0, it can kill Urza Saga and all the tokens, and so on and so forth. So still costs 7 for Blast, so it's still playable in that respect. 3 Boseijus for counterspell decks. Another Boseiju for killing stuff. Desert for Ragavan. The 4th Caverns, you're going to want to bring the 4th Caverns on the draw and then board all the Caverns out on the play. We have some Academies here against discard like Thought Season, stuff like that. And Radiant Fountain for burn. So really wacky meme deck. But This deck has actually put up some results. It has a couple of 5-0s in leagues. It went 6-2 in a challenge. Just various versions with slight differences. And so it's a meme, but it can definitely win. I'm stoked to play it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get right to the games. First, we work from our sponsor at CoolStuffInc.com.
CoolStuffInc is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, let's get this party started. And it's funny, our 40 land deck, we're like almost mana screwed this game, honestly. We got the lands. We're gonna keep, obviously. I think we're good here. We're gonna keep. We've got our blast. Opponent is on the play. Any other fetch land will allow Scion on turn 2. Opponent is playing Tron. Okay. We have Boseiju, which is pretty good as far as buying time goes. We draw a second fetch, so we're going to want to get... Let me double check my Triomes here. Just real fast, double check the Triomes. Oops. Just real quick, take a peek at the deck list. We have a Jeskai Triome and a Sultai Triome. We're going to get Jeskai Triome and then Overgrown Tomb works. Jeskai Triome, Overgrown Tomb. Cool. Let's play this and say go. And we can Boseiju a land, or we can play Scion, depending on what happens here. Unfortunately, Tron doesn't deal any damage to itself, so 15 won't be enough alone. The good news is that Scion of Draco is pretty good against them. They can't Ugin it, they can Karn it, but we'll see. See what happens. See what happens. Definitely a matchup where play draw seems pretty important because turn 3 Karn's pretty good. They find an Urza's Mine, they play it, and play a map. All right, so we're going to get Jeskai Triome and then Overgrown Tomb, right? Jeskai Triome. And then the Foothills gets the Overgrown Tomb. Cool. Let's Triome. Now we're going to untap and draw a mountain. So this gets Overgrown Tomb. We can cast Scion. If we wanted to be risky, we could go for Scion this turn and let them potentially, if they already have Tron, have it. They did keep 7 cards. So if they're a good Tron player, it means they're probably all rolled up. And the problem is that if I Boseiju and the map still in play, they can just crack the map and reassemble anyway. I think our best chance to win is to play Scion here. I don't think we should bother trying to... if they have it, they have it. They'll be able to rebuild it really quickly with the map already in play, so... I'll just cast Overgrown Tomb, or play Overgrown Tomb. Cast Scion for 2. And just say go. If they have a Karn here, it's pretty big. Let's just blast the Karn too. All right, perfect. So they're cracking the map. This is great. This is great. So this was our ideal scenario. Find a power plant, they play it. They tap 2 mana and play another map. Sure. So we draw Mishra's Factory. But now... we're so close to blasting and killing them, but we're not quite there yet. So now we're just going to attack. And we're definitely going to use Boseiju to kill the power plant. We're going to do it on our turns. They can't use the mana for map. And I think we're going to play this Mishra's Factory also. So all looks pretty good to me. We got a green. A little lucky of us to draw one of our 2 Boseijus, of course. But now we got Blast lined up. Again, Blast is not guaranteed to do 15. But the least it can do is 12, which is lethal next turn. So, I'm sorry. I guess you could actually hit the, you can hit another blast or hit a cascade or 2. We'll see. We'll spin the wheel. We'll see what happens, right? They got a forest in play. They can reassemble Tron. They can have a total of 5 mana this turn, which may or may not be enough. Factory's pretty good too. Factory attacks through Ugin and O-Stone, which is kind of nice as well. So, and we also have the Crucible Defiance too. So. Got our chip shot damage lined up, Get those first few points in and then blast it away. Also have Blast, Flashback Blast. Of course, they could have Relic or something like that in their deck too. Good start, though. Good start. Honestly, a very real draw. Surprising amount of things to do in interaction for a 40 land deck. Sage is pretty sweet. We have 2 main, 1 board. It's possible you want all 4 Boseiju in the deck somewhere, but I think Atama. Ooh, okay, they just drew it. They just drew the Tron piece. And here comes Karn, the Great Creator. What's Karn going to find, though? If Karn finds a Ensnaring Bridge, they can play it, but they have 4 cards in hand at present. So else they can play it. I think it's Sundering Titan. Oh my god. And they're going to cast a Sylvan Scrying. All right. So, anyways, I started blasting. Sundering Titan's obviously pretty good here. Destroys all the basics, so you can kill 2 of my lands. I think we're just gonna blast for the win here. We're looking at. I get this necklace up on the screen for myself. Make sure I'm just gonna take a picture of it. And, have this off to the side because we gotta know what our outs are here. And Urza's Tower is the call. We're gonna untap and we're gonna draw. We're gonna draw a Throes of Chaos, which honestly is better than just casting Blast as far as mana efficiency goes. So I think we're just gonna hit it. We're just gonna cast the Throes and try and win the game. Sundering Titan's gonna come down and kill a lot of our lands next turn. And get a Snaring Bridge. So we're just gonna go for the kill here. Play land. We're gonna play the Crucible because I don't want to lose my mountain to the Titan if things go wrong. And we're gonna cast our Throes of Chaos Cascade. Very luckily, we're gonna hit our Calibrated Blast and we're gonna cast it. We revealed a Worm. That's 15 damage. That's it. I don't know why I didn't show a card. But a lot more fun if I showed the card, but I'll try and see if I can change settings for that, make that work. And then it's Act for Lethal. There we go. Turn 4 kill. Easy game. Easy game. Nice Tron deck. All right, so let's take a look at our sideboard options here. We're now on the draw, so the 4th Caverns comes in. Pretty easy sideboarding. Bring in Boseiju and call it a day. No fountains, no deserts. We can cut Desert. I think are our worst 2 cards, right? Boseiju and Crime Punishment doesn't really do anything for us. Yeah, just gonna. This is it. This is it. I wish we had a fourth Boseiju who endures, but we'll live. We'll live, I suppose. Turn 3 Karn on the play. If we don't draw Boseiju, turn 3 Karn on the play will destroy us. But I think otherwise, if we can get that first few points in, we can start blasting. Obviously, it's pretty sweet. Having Scion in that game was pretty important as far as the clock goes because we might not have had time for a flashback on the blast or a second blast. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we would have. Still, they were Karning too, so. All right. Opponent ball against the 6. We have a hand that has a Boseiju and has a Gemstone Caverns. So it's actually like pretty good. The problem, of course, is we don't have any payoff here. So the question is Gemstone Caverns and Boseiju both A+ quality cards for us worth keeping a hand? We have to draw Blast or Scion or Cascade. We have 10 cards we're drawing to. So Blast, Throes, or Scion are our good draws. I think we keep this. I think we only have 3 Boseiju. It's pretty important. I think the Gemstone Caverns is also pretty huge. So we're going to keep this. Keep this. They're on 6. Hopefully they have, they go down to like 4, like Tron players are want to do. So yeah, our opponent needs to be an experienced Tron player. Down to 6 quickly, down to 5 quickly. So if you're a Tron player, you should mulligan a lot. Tron should be keeping an average of like, maybe 5 card hands. So we're going to do that. We're going to ship the, we have a Sultai Triome and a Jeskai Triome. Ship one of the extra Crucibles, I guess. So we got a little extra mana here. A little Lucky Man's Paradise. Versus Power Plant, go. All right, and we are going to go. I guess you want to play a fetch land. So we have the ability to get a Triome. And we can also just get Overgrown Tomb if we feel like we want to do that route. I don't think chip shotting for 2 damage is going to matter that much. And we're going to Boseiju here for sure. So yeah, we're going to get Overgrown Tomb. Get the... Oh wait, can't get Overgrown Tomb here. Duh. We have 2 Scalding Tarns, sure. All right, I guess it's just the Zagoth Triome. So lands are a little awkward, but that is what it is. So 2 Tarns here, couldn't get that anyway. So draw Foothills, not gonna gotten the tomb, but whatever. So we're gonna just get Boseiju here on their upkeep, on the draw step. I mean, and we're going to play. We're going to Tarn for. Now I should just play the factory, so I'm about to be able to attack also. I might just play this too. Whatever. Play factory and say go. And we're say go. And we're going to upkeep. Let them draw. We're going to Boseiju the Urza's Mine. They're going to float a mana, but like they can't use it because we're in the draw step, so. All right, here we go. We just gave them green. They might not have had green yet, so now they can obviously turn, Sylvan Scrying. There's a tower. They had the Tron. They have Scrying too, so they have Tron next turn. So we're probably in trouble this game. Unless we draw another copy of Boseiju, which would be pretty sweet. This deck could also play Field of Ruin too. So like there's plenty of like ways this deck could go. All right, I'm just gonna get I'll just fetch shock like Sacred Foundry, I guess, whatever. Just take some damage, who cares? I don't think damage is gonna be a major concern here. It's gonna fire up this Crucible of the Defiance here. And probably just concede the game next turn. They are colorless for Ugin, which is good, I guess, but there's Tron. Mismatched Tron lands this in. 5 mana for a Thragtusk? Uh-oh. Thragtusk beats our Fair Plan, that's for sure. And that's an Emrakul. Okay. Sure. You're up. Maybe our hand was a little too ambitious. We were drawing to effectively 10 good cards. It did have 2 aces, though. It did have the Gemstone Caverns and the Boseiju, which is pretty good, but perhaps not good enough. Field of Ruins also a card this deck could play too. Tron hasn't been too popular lately, but I think if Tron was more popular, you could easily play a couple Field of Ruins. Obviously, there are plenty of utility lands that could be other things. If you think that the Radiant Fountains aren't as necessary, play Field of Ruins and so on and so forth, deserts, etc. They're going to Karn us here and go get something nasty. And the fact that they're at 23 means it's going to be pretty hard for us to kill them. They're going to get a Grafdigger's Cage, which means they can't retrace the Cascade card. I think that's it, though. I think that's the only thing that this card does for us or against us. I can't flash back to Blast either, which is, I guess, is a concern. So get a Triome. And also play another Karn. Okay. Might hear our dog Karn barking in the background. I'm sure it was a stick or squirrel or something outside of it. It was, threatening our house and our livelihood. All right, it's a pretty bad draws, all in all. It's unfortunate because we have 10 hits in our deck and 4 Blast, 4 Scion, and 2 Throws. And we have 10 misses, which are 4 Worms, 4 Emrakuls, and 2 Blinkmoths. And we just drew 2 of the misses and not 2 of the hits, unfortunately. But that's just, part of what comes to playing a deck like this, absolutely. And we'll say go. Casting the old Wormy here. It does have Convoke, so it does cost 13 with these 2 creatures. But probably a little beyond our capabilities, especially with the double legendary land here. Play Stirrings, find Worm Coil. We're going to go next game. Once they gain enough life, we actually can't really win anymore. So we'll go to game 3. And what seems to be kind of a difficult matchup, honestly. Now we're on the play. So Gemstone Caverns is strictly worse than any other land. In which case we probably want the Radiant Fountains, I guess. Sure, the Radiant Fountains and just literally any land. Nephalia Academy, sure. Don't think Desert really does. I guess Desert could be like, I don't know, maybe whatever. I don't know. Sure. All right. Game 3 on the play. Again, we really want to draw Boseiju. On the play. There it is. And a Blast. Keep this. Unfortunately, the Blast will be enough by itself. We can't flash it back too, though. So keep this. Just play land, get Triome. So we're going to get a Sultai Triome. And that Sacred Foundry, sure. If you want to cast the or play Boseiju. They keep 7. They keep 7, which is a little scary. I'm not gonna lie, a little scary. So we're gonna get this Triome, and then we're gonna get Sacred Foundry if we want it. So do this. We draw a Scion. A second Boseiju is not bad. That is not bad. All right, so play this and say go. So we got double Boseiju. So that'll buy us a pretty good amount of time. I think just instant Boseiju into Blast, into turn 4 Boseiju into Blast should probably do it as far as like, so Cat. Boseiju on 2, Blast on 3, Boseiju on 4, Flashback Blast on 5. Should probably do it. Should probably do it. Hopefully. Hopefully. We'll see. Stirrings. Also have the Otawara here. Turn target artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. Power plant. And a mana in the pool. You're really tanking here. A map, sure. Get Sacred Foundry. All right, so end step. Boseiju the power plant. Let's get this party started. Suppose we do want to draw a land or two, which is, I mean, our next 40 lands, but we have 2 legendaries, obviously, but say go. So we kind of need to draw a land next turn. We actually need running lands here to flash us back, which is a little weird. But again, our deck is 40 lands, so maybe I should have prioritized getting double red with the fetches, but like it didn't really seem necessary, and I wanted to get the spread for our Scion if we draw it. Crack map here. Time to map and Sylvan Scrying, I suppose. Just pick one. Doesn't matter. Just pick one, you know. We could obviously play Boseiju as a land if we're like really feeling it, but since Stirrings first, they find a land, they can play Tron land and they crack the map too. So definitely to Boseiju next turn, almost assuredly, unless they miss really hard here. And this can be our 5th land, as far as like tap this for legend rule, play the new land. But we will need a land next turn. They hit a 2nd copy of Urza's Mine. Okay, so we are under 0 pressure at all to Boseiju them because they are at least 2 turns from Tron. Play a Relic. Okay, Relic complicates things. So now I can't Relic back the Blast, but I think we're still casting it. Yeah. We can just draw another one or a Cascade spell too. So we'll Blast. Again, it doesn't show the card I reveal. There it is. We get a Scion of Draco, which is not ideal. Not ideal. So we're only dealing 12 this time. But the next Blast would probably do it. Hopefully. Sort of, maybe. Untap. Draw Overgrown Tomb. That is a land. It is not a red land. I don't think our life. I'm just going to shock it in. Save the ability to do this if we want to also. And we're just going to say go. And we are looking for another Blast. They have 5 cards in hand. The Relic does exile this, so they're going to need to exile that before I can play another red source. Otherwise, I can flash it back before they can exile it. We could have tried to like save the Blast for this turn and try and like catch them tapped out, end step Blast, untap Blast. But without a 2nd red or even another land at this point, they're gonna have mana up at some point. It's not really worth it, I don't think. We'll just play it, try and draw a way to do it. So they play Tower, they crack Sphere, they make it green. And gonna pop this map here. Nope, play Sylvan Scrying. So they can rebuild here, which is kind of annoying. But another power plant. Can't play it just yet. Then they play Lammas turn. And now we're going to, if we shoot the tower, they just crack the map and get another tower. But they're still 2 turns away. So I think we want to do this. Yeah, just use the mana this turn. I imagine they'll make a mana here and crack the Relic. Sure. Again, we know they have a power plant in their hand. Crack map, sure. Same thing, whatever. So, give me a Cascade card, give me a Blast, or give me a Throws or a Scion of Draco. Let's go. Yeah. Crack this before I draw, which is good. So I can't play a land, just cast it. And I draw. All right, your turn. I guess, your turn. Relic pretty clutch there. Relic's pretty clutch. All right, well, they have Tron next turn. Oh no, Thragtusk. Another 13. All right. Ramunap Ruins. Well, now you have double red, I guess, but sure. Interesting possibility of this that could also be to play through the breach for the Emrakuls when you draw them. All right, well, now they have infinite mana. 11 mana here. There's 7. A long first game. I think we'd be flying through games of this deck. And there's Karn, and I think we're on a 1-turn clock here, basically. So they're going to exile my Foundry, and it's basically just, can we draw, I guess we could draw like Red Source into Blast in theory, but can we draw Blast, yes or no? They still have 5 cards in their hand. Man, we're trying to keep 7, it's not fair. Not fair at all. What is this? They get a Boseiju me? Sure. That's fine. We have 2 mountains, obviously, so not really a problem. We have our fancy lands too, but let's get a mountain. And draw. Oh, okay. Here we go. 2 of our big hits are in our hand, unfortunately. But what am I gonna do? Not cast it? Play it. We hit Throes of Chaos. That's not good. All right, so now 9. I could have killed the Karn, I guess. That was because you know what the card is before you target. I mean, it probably doesn't matter. They have 4 cards in their hand. I don't think it matters. They're gonna exile my mountain now, and we just can't cast anything ever again. Yeah, card's good. Card's good. If I killed the Karn, they'd still be at 13, and they just probably have another Karn, some other big thing in their hand, like an Ugin or whatever, Ulamog. Yeah, they just have 2 Karns. It doesn't really matter. All right, so Tron's probably a tough one, honestly. But if you just played 4 Field of Ruin, it probably wouldn't be that bad. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Oh, one. Try it again for round number 2 here. We've got. I mean, if that's not a hand of the week, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. So went real fast to save this one as a hand of the week, and we're gonna mulligan. We're gonna mulligan this one to a Blast. This hand's good. We've got Blast, some red sources, Desert, Crucible. Keep this, bottom the Blinkmoth Infusion, and let her rip, I guess, right? We get a Sultai Triome. We have possible Scion on turn 2. So anyway, I started blasting. I don't thought sees me. Oh god. Horror of the Broken Lands. Ooh, this is a black-based Living End deck. Is Living End bad for us? Seems interesting, I guess. Get our Triome. Untap and play. Alright, I mean, maybe they'll shock some more damage. Some more street rates, please. Let me know what's up. Do a few more points, please. No fetch, no shock, nothing. I do have a point here. So 1 more Wraith and they're dead. 1 more Wraith. This is a lot of power, too. This is a lot of power. At 18. We don't want to reveal what we're playing. I guess we also have these Crucible of Defiance tokens in theory. We're just going to play Mountain and Sego, and then we'll try and blast them on their turn. We'll see what they do. I want to conceal that I have this, and then maybe keep these for a surprise attack. If they're playing Demonic Dread, they need a target for that to cascade. So it's like Violent Outburst or Bust. There's your green source. Man, look at this perfect mana base of 0 pain from the lands. Actual 0 pain. All right, and cycle a Titanith Rex and 11-11. Oh, there's the Wraith, folks. There's the Wraith. We're good to go here. As long as we hit. We got to hit, of course. But 1 red. Calibrated, sure. Here we go. This is the big one. End step. Or whatever. Beginning of combat, whatever. Blastia. We hit a 15. That's it. That's 15. And, oh no, we're 1 short. We're 1 short. What will we ever do? We actually have 2 ways to deal extra points of damage here between the fusible and this thing, but we'll go with the old dink. Gotcha. Gotcha. Game 1. Nice. And as far as sideboarding goes, no Pachuca Bogs here, unfortunately. So they are Jund Living End. Most Living End decks are blue now. They just don't seem to be blue. We're on the draw, so the 4th Gemstone Caverns comes in. We'll say the desert doesn't look too good. Boseiju, I think Radiant Fountain plays over other desert too. And then maybe Radiant Fountain over anything else? I don't think so. So a little bit of life gain. Boseiju's probably bad, honestly. I'm bringing that Radiant Fountain. Like, what are we actually Boseijuing, you know? Let's try this. Heavy sideboarding here. Heavy sideboarding. I mean, it's got a blast and a Gemstone Cavern. We can keep this. We can keep this. If only the Gemstone Cavern discarded didn't exile. Put that Wurming into the graveyard for Living End, you know? So we got turn 1 Gemstone exiling Wurm, fetch land. Turn 2 Blast. Okay. So we can't target them. We gotta find one of our blue bounty lands. So, I boarded Boseiju out. See, that was bad. I didn't even think about this card, honestly. And they have Grief too. Oh my god. All right, that's a pretty good hand. So we'll have to bring in that Boseiju I cut for game 3. I just forgot this card existed. Most blue Living End decks don't play this card, so it just wasn't on my radar at all. So they're gonna take my Now it's funny there. If I didn't have Blast in my hand, obviously I wouldn't have kept, but like they would have been this, and then we could have had the ability to use it against Living End. But all right, so we could try and get Factory going and attacking. That seems really, really thin. So just to play at Scalding Tarn and start fetching Triomes. So we draw Scion, we're good. Need double red for flashing back Blast eventually, hopefully. But we're drawing a little thin here because we only have 4 total outs to Leyline. So might be looking at a game 3 here. Get our Sultai Triome. Untap and draw. Okay, there it is. So let's play. We're going to want to Otawara next turn. Just going to play the Scalding Tarn and say go. This comes after any color, right? Yeah, so we're good to go here. Just get a Triome. Don't think we need to play Factory. I guess worst case here is if they are able to Living End here. Oh man, they have a 11-11. Sure. I guess Living End for 11-11, 4-4, and Grief is pretty good here, so they're probably all rolled up. Only a way to discard this wormy boy, you know. So crack this, get a Triome. Untap. And play a Mishra's Factory. Draw Throes of Chaos. They're going to Living End here in the draw step with Grief. This is a pretty good hand for them. Leyline and Grief and turn 3 Cascade for like 100 power. Doesn't get too much better than this. They're at 16. The good news is that we're actually still pretty close to killing them. Actually, we just did 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 8. Yeah, it's exactly 18. Wow, it's exactly 18. All right. I guess they got us. We'll see. Because they're at 16. I can't afford to bounce this and deal the extra point and flashback thing. So I think we're just dead. Play Mishra's Factory. Yeah. So it's if we were at 19, if this had been a Radiant Fountain, we have like an outside chance to like runner the 1 damage land. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that's 18. So I can obviously bounce this, but I just can't win anymore. So I'm just gonna go to game 3. So I'll sideboard better this time, remembering the card that Leonis Sanctity actually exists. Bring both Boseijus back in, and now of course the Caverns need to leave anyway, so Caverns go out. And bring that Radiant Fountain back in, and I guess give me 1 copy of, I guess, the Academy for Grief. Grief with discard. Yeah, actually, that's actually an oversight on my part, honestly. I forgot that card existed. So 1 less Radiant Fountain, and I can shape a mountain, I think. Sure. Forgot the Academy too. Man, that has no spells in the sideboard, and I think I boarded really, really bad for that game too. But now we're on game 3, and we're gonna board good. So we've got fetch land. We do have the Otawara. We have Throes and Scion. Unfortunately, I don't have a second fetch land for Scion, but we got to keep this hand, I think. So we fetch up a Triome. Hopefully, we just draw a Fetcher Duel. We've got Otawara to bounce the Leyline. We've got a little bit of chip shot damage. And they have no Leyline this game, so sure. Play Tarn, so go. Could have maybe just played Factory and chipped in for 2. But I want to get the Triome for Scion. So with no Scion in hand, it's probably right to play Factory first. But all right, here come the Wraiths. The Wraiths are good. The Wraiths are our friends. They're already 16. So 1 Throws could kill them. All right, so, and no Grief either. All right, so we're going to get the, I think we get the Sultai Triome. Everything taps for red, so yeah, get this. So like ideal draw is any fetch land, which there are 9 of. Steam Vents. Okay, sure. So this costs a 6. It'll cost 4 with Steam Vents, so we're just a little bit short. Play the Mishra Factory. Have the ability to chip in next turn maybe if we need to. Obviously, if we can get them down to 12, it helps our math a lot on Calibrated Blast because 12 is the minimum on our big ones. So it's like Calibrated, sure. It's like a Wraith, or now they're 12. So I mean, I was thinking stop me, and also they grief this. If they grief this, I just cast it again. So we are not going to activate Factory in case they have a Twin Shot Sniper, deals 2 damage. All right, yeah, I'm just put Steam Vents tapped here and say go. Again, this will cost still cost 4. Playing Throws next turn. Yeah, this is all good. I'm not gonna Boseiju them because they just have lands, so whatever. Say go. Nothing. No end step cycles is interesting. What's going on here? This is a little weird. That was a little weird. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. What's going on over here? Correct fetch. Yep. Basic swamp. Correct the fetch. I mean, Blood Moon don't do nothing. Our only main card is red, so Blood Crypt. Go to 8. Cast Seasoned Pyromancer. You are, I mean, they're not dead. We obviously can cascade in, or hit cascade into a blast or Throws, but pretty close to dead. And I mean, miss, we can just do it again next turn. So there's Emrakul. All right, so Dinky for 1, and spin the freaking wheel. Let's go. Throws, cascade. That one's obvious. That one hits the blast. We blast, and that one hits an infusion. Yep. That'll do it. That's game. Pack it up. That's 14 damage. 1-1. With hands like this, you cannot love the deck, right? All right, we're going to mulligan here. Want to mulligan to 6 also. Mulligan down to a really interesting hand. Our deck is 40 lands. All we need is a red source. We're keeping this hand every time. bottom the worm, and just we should draw a red source, of which we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We have 22 red sources. 22 red sources in the deck. So a full third of the deck is red sources. That is not one of them. But and then we just have blast, blast, blast 3 turns in a row. Just pretty good. Just pretty good. All right. They do nothing. We draw a desert. Guess we'll play the factory. Could play desert if we're like scared of a dashed Ragavan, but it seems a little unlikely. Ooh, Cabal Coffers. Cool. All right. So this should be a good matchup for us, honestly. If we're just going to be coffering things out. There's our red source. Love it. Love to see it. Say go. It's blasting time. Missed the land drop. Here's the blast. Anyway, I started blasting. And reveal the blast. So only 3 damage, but that's fine. Let's go get next turn, you know? All right, next turn. Untap. Bloodstained Mire. We put a worm in the bottom of our deck, so there's definitely some value in fetching. It will slightly increase our odds to hit a 15. Yeah, I'm down. Crack this, just get a mountain. Double red for flashback on the one in the graveyard. And just keep on shooting. Cascade. We'll hit the Calibrated Blast, which we're going to cast. And the blast will hit a 15 ball. There you go. 15 ball, corner pocket. You're at 2. You're at 2. So you are dead to Mishra's Factory. You're dead to a flashback. You're dead to a throws. Obviously, my opponent hasn't actually done anything. But, you know, putting them dead on turn 5 is a reasonable place to be. So we'll take it. We'll take it. So mono black coffers deck, it looks like. We're going to bring in our Boseiju. We are on the draw, so bring in the Caverns. Definitely going to want these Nephalia Academies. I'm sure they have discard spells. I would say we don't want the deserts. And anything else we don't want here in particular? On the draw, want the Caverns. Ramunap Ruins, Crucibles. Can obviously just like cut any number. Like maybe we'll say like a mountain. Because like mountains mostly just insurance with things like field everyone effects. Otawara, I mean, is like a safety valve for any like dumb card they might have. Although obviously Boseiju does that. Boseiju kills the coffers, kind of nice. Maybe we'll shave an Otawara and just like shave a Crucible. That is cutting 2 red sources, but it's fine, honestly. Sure. So let's try this. Submit it. Let's go. Easy sideboarding. So anyway, I started blasting indeed. Pretty good hand. This hand is good for a few reasons. One, of course, is that we have a bunch of blasts. And 2, there are only 2 misses left in our entire deck. We have 1 more blast, 1 more throws. Otherwise, every blast will deal at least 12 damage. So we should have a turn 4 kill here in theory. Unless they can gain some life somehow. Or we get lucky and miss really bad, I guess. But all right, play the Bloodstained Mire and say go. We do kind of want double red, but I also want green. It's probably just Triome, honestly. Profane Tutor suspended. This is like a really good matchup for us. It's just like combo versus ramp. And they're not like playing turn 3 Karns. So get Triome, untap, and draw a Crucible of Defiance. I think we'll just play the Mishra's Factory because you want to try and chip some damage in. He could have in theory played Factory on 1, but getting a Triome is pretty big for possible, what's it called? Scion of Dracos. Dothy Voidwalker. Sure. Doesn't really do much against us. And we draw another land. And I think we're just fine. I don't want to hold this. Crucible. I have to play Crucible, sure. Play this. There you go. Unfortunately, this will exile our blasts, so we can't, and our throws, so we can't flash them back. But we just have 4 blasts in our hand, and they're almost all gonna hit. So cast Tutor. They have coffers. This can get Herb. They can like do some stuff this turn for sure, but I'm not sure if they can beat Blast into Blast. We have to miss. We have to hit one of our. We have 12. I'm sorry. We have 4, 8, 12. We have 14 hits and 2 misses. So we're 7-1 to hit our big boomer. You need to hit 7-1 twice in a row. Resolve Tutor, hit the map. If they're mapping to turn, then yeah, we're golden. So they get Urborg, play Urborg, and cast Thoughtseize, which is fine. Plenty more where that came from. Now, if our hand was worse here, this might have done it, because the Voidwalker exiling the retrace card and the flashback card is definitely a possible path, but opponent says Raffle in chat. The old Rafflecopter. 7-1. It's got to be a blast here, of course. Hopefully it's not Assault Rope. That would be really annoying. I want to remind you, that was a companion article to this video on CoolStuffInc.com. Have a little fun this week with this kind of crazy, wacky deck. It doesn't have a winning pedigree, though. It has 5 votes in leagues. And of course, next week we'll beat 10 new brews with the brand new set. New Capenna, Standard, I'm pumped. Standard's doing great. Like, secretly very great. They're going to Voidwalker. And they're going to cast... What? Cast my Throes of Chaos? This will actually put it back in the graveyard. They cascade into a Fatal Push. Sure, I guess. A card they probably should have boarded out. Throws goes back to my graveyard. And I guess that's just a concession, basically. So, Blast. Survey says just 12 this time. Just 12. And untap and blast again. Just going to do it now. Blast. This is only 4. That was one of our 2 misses. So in theory, if they had a way to like empty our graveyard here and a way to discard our card in hand, we could lose this game. Honestly, if they hadn't sacked their Voidwalker, I should actually flashback Throws. That was stupid. I should have cast the blast. Whatever. Double coffers. Okay, so this is 5. This is a Kozilek. Okay. They're at 2 now, though. That's it. Nothing else. I mean, we just have flashback on the thingy. How about 1? And just gonna cast the blast now. Can't miss this time. What is the blast? Boom, boom, 15. Take it. Pretty clean game. 2-1. So our first game was a little sluggish. But these last 2 games have been, really, really popping off a little bit. We got our Scion, but no fetch land to really enable it. We're gonna mulligan this hand. We can do better than this. If we had a Jeskai Triome and an Overgrown Tomb here for turn 2 Scion, I would keep this. But as it stands, we're gonna mulligan. Mulligan to blast. Sure, keep this. And we're gonna ship ourselves one of these things and just let it ride. We are on the draw, but in theory, a turn 4 kill if we're lucky. Island, Aether Vial. Oh god, here we go. The Merfolk are here for us. I really doubt that Factory will be able to attack next turn, so double blast, huh? Is this gonna come down to they have counter spells or not? Cavern of Souls. Merfolk. Good choice. Lord. I am Lord, they say. All right. Gemstone Caverns. I've seen better. Sure. Land go. No 1-drop. That's good. Vial to 2. Mutavault. I'm a little worried this game, I'm not going to lie. I think being on the draw might spell doom for us. We probably have a turn 5 Goldfish, but their Goldfish is probably going to be faster. Even with no 1-drop. Tide Shaper? Sure. The question is, do we activate this? I think we don't. They could easily have another Lord, so probably wouldn't block anyway, and the risk of having like a Dismember or something like that's too much. So this is all right. This is all right. Take 2. No Lord is also great for us. Draw an Infusion. All right. Not ideal, but sure. Gonna play a Ramunap Ruins and just say go. We could have just fired the Blast off on our turn to play on like land counterspell, but I think we can wait. Maybe waiting makes them pump the brakes a little bit too. Vial goes to 3. Not really sure what the current composition of Merfolk decks are in Modern. As I said, we probably need to get a little lucky here because their Goldfish is going to kill us before turn 5. So we have to hit on both blasts, I think. Play Vial. So go. All right. I mean, they didn't fire a Mutavault, which is a little weird. I'm a little worried here about getting Spell Pierce, something like that, but Blast? Definitely can't beat a Spell Pierce. Three cards in hand. Aether Vial in response on 3. Put in Kira. Okay, so now if we miss and hit a Blast or a Cascade card, we can't target their thing. It's good play on their part. That's the way that happens works. So reveal Throes of Chaos. God damn it. And now we just can't win. So good play on their part. Shielding up. We deal the damage to face, but now they're at 16. I can only deal 15. And the things have Island Walk too. That sucks. All right. We draw Scion of Draco, but this costs 100,000 right now. Costs 8. So we can make some tokens. This is Island Walk. Yeah, I think we're in some doo-doo here, I think. They need to not kill us this turn, which is a lot to ask. We do have Blast and then Flashback Blast. What do we have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess there's a chance. If they didn't have anything else to vial in, we could definitely maybe have a chance this game. Again, barring no instant speed interaction. Fire Mutavault. This is 10. Vial goes to 4 and 1. So I can't be a Lord. All right. Down to 3. I started blasting. Blast again. This time we're going to hit a Worm, 15, and now that's it. Barring a really slow rolled Spell Pierce, it looks like we might just steal this one. Flash it back. Can't miss this time. They're 1. I had Ruins too, I guess, for lethal. So I probably actually should have Ruins them. I think if it would pierce instead. Whatever. So, woo! That was a close one. Folks. Now we're on the draw. So we're going to have the 4th copy of the Caverns come in. I would say that the deserts are like okay. Boseiju's, I mean, they could have like a hate piece that Boseiju would hit. I don't know what it would even be though, honestly. Ruins, Otawara. Crucible can't really block effectively because they have a Island Walk most of the time. We can shave one of those maybe. And then maybe we just shave the Boseijus. By shaving Boseiju, we're obviously like running ourselves the risk of them having some weird hate card we're not thinking of. We still have Otawara anyway. Boseiju can it can kill Mutavault or it can kill Aether Vial. Neither of which of those are particularly great. Desert is like maybe okay. Love the idea of Radiant Fountain too. I might even just shave like an Otawara or like something else for a Radiant Fountain. Desert, Triome. The bad news is that they take no damage from their lands, so it's gonna be harder to like deal that extra point or two. Whereas opponents like our most shock fetch opponents will help you out down to 15. But cut these, and I'm gonna cut an Otawara. I'm just gonna go in kind of naked, I think, for game 2. If they have some weird hate card I'm not thinking of, we'll just reevaluate for game 3. But Gemstone Caverns take up a lot of room. For game 3, they're all coming out, obviously, so you can bring those lands back in. And Crime Punishment's too slow here. Crime Punishment feels like it's more for like the Urza Saga, Mem Knight, Hammer decks. Wild ride here. Wild ride. 201 blasting away. Exciting play draw here. Remember, folks, you can get 5% off your order on CoolStuffInc.com. Promo code Jim5 and a free Goblin token with your order as well with my my mug on it. So on the draw with the Gemstone Caverns, but nothing else to do, so we're going to mulligan. And mulligan into... Okay. We can keep this. This is a turn 2 Scion, turn 3 Scion, turn 4 Blast. Barring a like Spreading Seas effect, which would really suck actually, but... so we're going to get Vial again, sure. We're going to get Sultai Triome into Sacred Foundry. Draw Blast. All right, that's pretty good. Scion's a 4/4. 2-mana 4/4 flyers. Pretty good. It's pretty good. No play on 2. Now, they're going to have more interaction also. So I think it's actually really good with your Scions because like they force interaction in a different way. If they brought in like, 4 Spell Pierces or whatever, like the Scion interacts perfectly with that. So we're really blasting now. Jeez. All right. Get ourselves a Sacred Foundry. And let her rip. Scion of Draco. Come on down. End step. Trickster. Sure. It's a bear. It's a bear. Bears. No 1-drop either. Love it. Love it. So next turn can be Blast Radiant Fountain or it can be Scion. You draw a Relic. So Relic obviously like works against, the flashback part of Blast, but if they're playing a Relic and a threat, I'm super happy. Untap and draw. Overgrown Tomb. It's just Scion of Draco all the way here, I think. This is a Scion of Draco game. At this point, we're the beatdown. Take your Spell Pierce and shove it. Let's go. Vial on 2. Trickster, sure. They are pushing some damage here. They are pushing some damage, but we have a 2-turn clock in the air and a blast. So, I also got a little life here to Radiant Fountain. I do love Radiant Fountain. Master of the Pearl Trident, sure. Now shields are down for a counter spell. Ooh, lords. Oh, Lord. Lordy. I didn't do anything. Sure. All right, well, I think they're dead. Also, we stone brick on this Calibrated Blast. We have to hit. We have 2 blasts and 1. We have 3 misses and like what? 3 misses and 12 hits. So we're 4-1 here, which is pretty good. They have Island Walk, so like you can't play defensive anyway. So if this doesn't work, we're probably. They can also have Force Negation too, I guess, which should be a problem. But they got it. They got it. What am I gonna do? All right, so we're gonna Chaos, not Blast, just more mana efficient for next turn, as far as like blocking with this thing or whatever. So fire away, and let's Cascade. Get real lucky and hit the Calibrated Blast. And blast away. Force Negation or nah. The last 2 cards were Force Negation blue card. What a good hand. What a good hand. All right, now we whiffed on this. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, they have exactly Island Walk lethal. They got us. They got us. All right, good hand. Good hand. They had, our hand was pretty good too, but like their hand was better. On the play with a decent curve and force negation and exactly lethal through our blockers and our Radiant Fountain too. Man, if we had drawn 2 Radiant Fountains that game, that would have been sweet. But all right, they got us. So we have 3, 6, yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10. It'll screw up, I guess, as they go, but yeah, they got us. Force the negation. Even exiles the card too. Play Mutavault. And in come the clowns. Yep. It's exactly 10. If it's 11, we win the game. Or sorry, if it's 9, we win. If we're at 11, we win the game. So game 3 on the play. Let's take out these Gemstone Caverns and bring back in the Boseijus and I should bring the Otawara on this the thingy. Desert. I guess like if we can try to avoid getting an island, maybe, but we obviously had to cast Silence that game. But maybe you don't have Scion, we can try to avoid playing that. We also have Boseiju. It's pretty interesting. Maybe we want like 2 Boseijus. They only probably have like 4 force, that's really it. But having the option for Boseiju is pretty cool, though it is a lot of life. It's a pretty damaging card. Yeah, let's cut our Boseijus and bring in 2 Boseiju. Well, let's cut Boseiju and bring in Boseiju. I think just 2 though. I think just 2. Yeah, I'll bring all 3, whatever. And we'll cut I can cut a mountain. Sure. Try this. On the play, game 3. Merfolk. Trying to put up a fight here. Look at these hands. Woo! Oh boy, look at these hands. All right, we're gonna mulligan that one into double Scion, but no second fetch. Ooh, that hurts. This hand would be phenomenal if we had a second fetch land here, but we're on the play. We really can't risk it. We only have 10 fetch lands in our deck, so I'm gonna mulligan again. This is not good enough. All right, and that's also really, really bad. Oh boy. All right. Now we're on 5. Yeah, we're just going to 4, I think. Now we're in big trouble. All right, keep this. Ship the worm. And a fetch in the desert. All right. I mean, we got a long way to go here, unfortunately, but we are going to, I guess, Boseiju on 1. Just say go. Rough 4-card hand here. And Vial again. Pretty good. Scalding Tarn. All right. I mean, like, in theory, we have a turn 5 kill if we don't brick. We have turn 3 Blast with Boseiju, turn 5 Blast with Boseiju. So, like, I suppose it's kind of a path, you know? Tide Shaper. Never mind, no Boseiju. So if they have Force also, we're in big trouble, but sure. Gonna get ourselves the Sultai Triome. Zap. And I guess we'll play Crucible. And do we just cast it now to have less chance to get Force? I guess we're gonna cast it now. All right, we revealed a Throes of Chaos. Only 4 damage. I probably should have killed this, actually. I screwed up. I should have killed this. I just clicked too fast. All right, that was bad. That was pretty bad. Because this unlocks my Boseiju also. The problem is, like, now we just, like, don't have enough to win. And they are at 16. I'm sorry. They're 20. So, yeah. Putting them at 16 now, like, I can blast for 15 and the desert will do the last point. So we're not, like, out of it yet. We are at 19, have some time, but all right. God of Sea and Sky. Violent a Lord, get it for 3. Oh, the Silvergill. It's weird. All right. They're at 17. Or we're at 7. Sorry, we're at 17. We draw a Worm. Wish we had that Worm on top of our deck. All right. Say go. Flat. If they can draw, if they don't draw a relic or force, but they're drawing off. They drew up this thing and they're drawing up this thing too. So we're like, really, and we also have to hit for 15. So we have 15 hits left. We're flipping a coin to hit on 15. Vial on 2. It's a Lord. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's please don't have anything, and we have to hit. Play a Glasspool Shore as a land. Not copying Master. They definitely have Force Negation. 100%. I don't know why I played that before they attacked. Drew a card, but... Alright, yeah, they definitely have Force. Oh, they have a Relic? Oh, no, that's bad, too. Alright, they got us. We all get a 4 of this game. We're sort of in it. Alright, you got me. Draw. They're going to let me cast the Blast? Oh, they definitely have a freaking... Alright, well, here we go, I guess. They're going to let me cast it. Flashback Blast. Force Negation me. Spell Pierce me. Counter... Sure. Okay, sure. So they got me. Alright, so tough match. Obviously, that mulligan afford didn't help us. We were kind of in the game, but they got us. Their hands are pretty good. And they, obviously, counter spells plus beatdowns is pretty good against all-in wonky combo decks. So 2-2. 2-2. All right, got a string match here. This is for a winning record. And his hand's pretty bad. We have turn 2 Scion, but have nothing else. We have 2. This is basically a mulligan to 5. His cards in hand are essentially worthless. I'm going to mulligan this. I mean, we can do better than this. This is already a 5-card hand. Just going to mulligan. Mulligan to... Yeah, it's much better, honestly. Keep this. Ship Emrakul. And now we've got turn 2 Scion. Well concealed. You have a Crucible and a Mishra's Factory. The best hand of all time, but pretty solid. Pretty solid. Turn 2 Scion's pretty good. Can't Fatal Push it. Oh my god. What is grief if not a mulligan to 6 Persevering, huh? Alright, well, I guess the good news is we're putting a creature in the graveyard for their living end crap, but the bad news is, of course, we have no spells left, so... You got me, I guess. You got me. All right. Go on. Steam Vents tapped. So this is a more traditional living end deck. They're going to have blue and Force Negation. It's probably pretty bad for us, honestly. Unfortunately, decks with a pretty proactive plan backed up with Force Negation is just not going to be, not going to be a great time for us. Just, based on how Magic works. We are playing a 1-spell combo deck. Misty Rainforest. Blue. Waker of Waves. Main phase, too. All right. I mean, now our Factory gets to get in. So you put them to the lucky 15, which is important. So now our future blasts are live. They've been a Scalding Tarn, sure. Thinking about that Street Wraith. Grief again. Nah, not this time. Not this time, my friend. 40 lands over here. Thank you very much. All right. Untap and draw Steam Vents. Okay. I see how it is. I see how it's going to be. Attack. Play Foothills and say go. It's going to fetch up a Triome. They have a living end here. They get a 7/7 and 2 3/2s, and I get a 3/4 flyer. I can't really block that well, but I can block the big ones. So, all right. So obviously we're not going to fire up the thing anymore. Go get our Triome. Untap and draw Blast. No. Okay. We have the Crucible tokens to block with also, which is a pretty big game against the Waker Waves and the Menace creatures too. Nothing? Wow. No living end and step. All right. So Curative Mysteries, sure. This thing, sure. Now the question is, do I want to just like get in for some points? Honestly, I think we're going to now. I think we just like fire up the Crucible and then fire up the factory. I wasn't going to do it into a possible living end and instant speed with the outburst, but now we can get it for 4 points with into 11, and that makes most of our blast lethal. I'm down here. I'm down. Blast? Oh, blast. I started blasting. All right, here we go. Obviously, force negation is a big concern, but if they have a Shardless on their turn, can't force on your own turn. So they're at 11. We're saying go. 3 cards in hand. I think force is reasonably likely because obviously they don't have any cascade cards or cycling cards. So Mishra Factory doing some work here. Doing some work. End step. Endurance Evoked Shardless Agent. Now they only have 1 card. So now we know for a fact they can't have force negation. Does Sky Turtle return spells to hand? Hold on a second. It just bounces creatures, right? 1 second. Just checking. Turn target card, turn target. Yeah, okay, so yeah, they're dead. They're not dead, but like we are going to resolve a Calibrated Blast here and hope they I'm sorry, we're gonna let the endurance resolve first. So endurance resolves, targets me. That's fine. We actually, I think they go on the bottom, right? So sure. So that dies. These cards go away. And now we start blasting. What do we say? What do we say? Draco, that's a hit. Take 12. Take 12, exactly. That chip shot damage worked out. If we didn't get those points in, they would have been a 2 or 4 life. You love to see it. All right. Now we are on the draw. So of course the last gemstone is coming in. I'm gonna want this these Boseiju shelters all, and we are going to not need the deserts. We're going to not need Boseiju who endures. Shouldn't. Yeah, I doubt they have Leyline. So the Jund version had Leyline because they're not playing Force Negation, but they have forces. They don't need that. And then I want these Nephalia Academies for the Griefs. And then we can shave an Otawara or 2. Honestly, I think we can shave multiple Otawaras. I really don't think there's much to... I guess it bounces a creature too, right? Shave a mountain. And... I think we can shave a desert. Honestly. Like, they have like Street Wraith and stuff to deal themselves damage, so... I think we're going to do like this. Still Ramunap Ruins. I guess maybe Ramunap Ruins is also red. We do need to have our red sources, obviously, so I think this is fun. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let it ride. What a game. What a game. All right. This deck is a hand of the week factory. Just a hand of the week. I just can't even. They're all just so good. They're all just so good. If this hand had 2 fetch lands in it, we would keep it. Like, I guess they are playing living end. Maybe not, but we're going to mulligan. We're going to mulligan 6 also. And we're going to mulligan to... It's good against grief. It's definitely good against grief. Oh boy. So we have like Mishra's Factory chip shot damage and then Crucible of Defiance. I can't really keep this hand. We can't really keep this hand. All right. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna mulligan again. Sure. Or on the Academy. Yeah, I'm just gonna mulligan. So mulligan to. All right, this is good. Keep this, ship Wurm and one of the academies. Turn 1 grief will be annoying, but I mean, what am I gonna do? You know, Botanical Sanctum. They mulligans. It's not as likely. Boseiju. Okay. The problem is we have a bunch of tap lands, and we want to play this Academy also. We also have a bunch of untapped red lands too. Let's play Boseiju. Let's start there and just say go. Sanctum's good for them because obviously they don't want to take damage if possible. Also, like the factory, you want to get chip shot damage in too. We could have like played factory on 1, Academy on 2, but that's like really, really slow as far as getting the Boseiju and the Triome here to activate these blasts. So they're gonna fetch. They get a shock. Nope, just get a basic. Sure. Kamigawa land. It's old school. It's old school. They're going to channel a Waker of the Waves, recycle, or whatever the hell it is. They've been in Otawara. Sure. Ugh. They found the grief. They found the grief. All right, so we lose one of our blasts, but what am I gonna do? And now if they live again, they can grief again. I think we're dead this game. I think we're going to game 3. Hand a little too slow and crappy, and we draw Foothills. The problem is like 1 blast isn't gonna do it, and they just have living in next turn probably. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just play Academy and say go, but I don't think we can really win. Don't think if they have living in next turn, we just can't win. It's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's a 2-turn clock, and we're just dead. Shock to 17. Meant to play Shardless, yeah, sure. Yeah, and then we won't be drawing a card next turn either. So I'm just good. I'm not gonna show them what we got here. So that's fine. Good hand. Good game. Good game. And then game 3, we board out all the Gemstone Caverns once again. So we're on the play. Bring back in the mountain, the Otawara, the desert, maybe a Radiant Fountain. A little life here and there could matter. And do I want? Is that more important than any other land? Yeah, mountain. Like 2 of those. Sure. Try this. Let's try this. Grief, grief, grief. Good grief. Good grief. All right. On the play. Double Boseiju, double Mishra's Factory. This hand's terrible. Already a blank, and then a blank also. Yes, and then we have Scion with nothing to cast it with. We're gonna mulligan. Mulligan to, oh my god, these hands have been so bad. All right, it's mulligan again, I guess. We have, I mean, turn 1 Factory is cute and all, but we just have nothing. So yeah. Go to 5. I mean, we actively would rather have all these cards in our deck. So like this hand is almost worse than like a 4-card. You know, if this was just, I guess we could shuffle, I guess, but we're still gonna have an Emrakul in our hand we don't want. I guess if they grief us though, it'll put the worm in the graveyard. Oh my god. All right, are we going to 4 here? Are we just gonna keep? I think I'm just gonna keep this. Keep this. Ship Emrakul. Ship Emrakul. Grief me, please. Oh god. All right, not going to 4 here. Just gonna get our two Triomes. See if we can't draw a Scion. We're drawing the Scion, Blast, and Throws, which is usually the case. Like a lot of ways you could build this deck. You could play a lot of like cycling lands and try and like, you know, give yourself a little more draw towards the cards you want to draw. Cards like Field of Ruin and Majuga Bog we're not playing, can maybe be playing. Definitely interesting deck building conundrum. All right, get our Triome, untap, and okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Get our Sacred Foundry as a playable card. Obviously, you're playing Living End, but So worst case here would be no grief and living end. But what am I going to do? If we can get those first few points in and get them down to 15 or whatever, we can definitely be live to drawing Blast. So, boom, boom. 1 blue cycle. Architects of Will. All right. Grief me, please. I want the grief. I just want to get grief for once. Normally, you don't want to get grief. This time I do. Please grief me. They're thinking about it. Please do it. You know you want to. Yes. Yes. What is grief but Autochthon Wurm persevering? Huh? Go ahead. Cast that living end. I promise you nothing is bigger than this thing is. I promise you. I promise you. I mean, what a firework finish to our video here. Game 3, the rubber match. We're going to be mulligan to 5 and we get grief to put our worm in the graveyard. Oh, yeah, let's go. Son of endurance, too, please. And also, we got a clock going, too. We're going to get at least 4 in, and that's 5, and that's 6. So, a blast for... We have 10 hits for blast, or 9, I guess, this is gone now. So, we're drawing to 4 blasts and 2 throws. Untap, draw. Emrakul. Damn it. Now if they agree with us, it shuffles back, which would be really bad. But look at this. They know we have these 2 lands in our hand, so which one we play doesn't really matter, I don't think. But all right, so play desert, dink ya. There you go. Now if they live again this turn, the worm comes back. So that's a lot. That's a lot. Obviously, would think if they had force for my my blast, but what you got? You gonna fetch shock? You gonna live that scary life down to 14. 14. So we have 3 Emrakul, 3 Worm, and 2 Blinkmoths. We have 8 current hits, and if we draw one of our outs, 3, 6, 7, 8 misses. We're actually flipping now. We're flipping to try and deal the 14 damage. So our Scions are not hits. If they shock again, then all the Scions are hits too. But also if this hits them also too. So we should probably be in a spot where a Resolve Blast will most likely win the game, barring Force Negation. It's a big boy. It's a big boy. I think eating a Skyscraper. Sanctum. Oh, no damage from the lands. Oh, no damage from lands is so hard. Cycle Wraith down to 12. Okay. 5/5. The Grief. 3/3. $14 toughness. What do they got? They got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They have exactly 14 power. So, all right, here we go. Untap. Let's draw Blast. That's also passable. Oh, they're going to grief me. No. If I attack, they're going to cast Living End. Oh, they can't. Oh, no, never mind. We're good. They have a bouncy spell? Little sea turtle action? What's going on here? Nothing? Wow. All right. I mean, we got to cast it. Like, they probably have force, right? But, like, if they resolve Living End, they just grief me anyway. So, might as well just cast it. Here we go. Throes of Chaos. And now if I draw a land, I can cast it again, too. So, I guess this will get discarded, so I'll be able to. But, all right. Cast the Blast. I imagine they're going to hard cast force here. Oh my god, they cycled a Wraith. Down to 6. Cycle a Wraith, down to 4. Now everything's lethal, except for a Blast. Emrakul, 15. Sign me up. Let's go. I'm the best blaster alive. Pew, 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 pew. So we went 3 and 2. We lost a Tron, which was a little tough, obviously. Karn's pretty good. I lost a Merfolk. We beat a Force Negation plus Clock deck, though, which is pretty good. I think it's like could be built a little bit differently. I do think that maybe the utility land spread is like a little weird. Bajuka Bog's pretty good. That one might be a one that could be on the menu for sure. Bajuka Bog. Never bought these in, obviously, we didn't need to. But yeah, just deck's definitely a blast. Deck's definitely a blast. All right, so hope you enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next week for some new standard from Streets of New Capenna, 10 new brews. My set reviews are already up. My articles are up on Cool Stuff. Go watch everything. I'm actually on vacation right now. I'm on a boat. I pre-recorded this, so I'm wearing the same shirt as last week. So I love y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you fine folks for 10 new brews next week. All right, have a good one.